Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to talk about Mompowered 2023. And some of you might be going, what is that? Well, that's what Lucy and Stephanie are here to talk about. We're all speakers on the Mompowered. And what it is it is 5 wonderful days to give power back to the moms. Whether you need something spiritually, mentally, you need some ideas in your business, whatever it is that you need to fill your cup, you're going to find it here. And so I want to talk, let Lucy and Stephanie chat a little bit about what they're going to share about, and then I'll circle back around to what I'm going to do as well. So why don't you take it away, Stephanie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie. I am the face behind Stephanie Creates Blank, and I will be talking about my 30, 60, 90-day calendar plan and how I use that to work forwards and plan backwards so I can accomplish my goals. And this can apply to any area of your life. In the example that I set for my PDF is how to schedule a birthday party.
We all need that.
So, I'm very excited to be here at Mompowered 2023. Yay!
Which is funny. This weekend is my daughter's birthday party, so I probably could have used some of your tips in planning it, but we're excited to, she's going to be turning 7. Oh no, my youngest.
We learn.
We do. It's great to get tips from each other. Lucy, what about you? What are you going to share with us?
Oh, this is where I dive into what I call my midlife meltdown. Not a midlife crisis, because a midlife meltdown is our opportunity to create something new from what was. So, what I do in my talk is I do share a bit about my story. But what's really important is I share my 3 steps on how I pulled myself up and was able to create massive change in my life. These fit into the midlife story, but these 3 steps can fit into any stage of a woman's life.
Oh, I love that. And I, big surprise, going to be talking more about connection because I love connecting people together. And I feel in our day and age that moms are just feeling that they have to do this alone. And I love that Mom Powered's bringing even the 3 of us together as speakers, but to bring all of us together in the idea that we do not have to do motherhood alone and that we can support each other and get ideas from each other. And that's what this is all about. So I'm just so excited to be part of this wonderful group of women who just want to get out there and say, moms, it's time to band together and let's support each other in all of this. And there's just so many different ideas and talks. And again, we keep thinking this big thing, like we have to like do all these things and then everything will be better, right? We're just looking for those little tweaks today. What's one thing that I can do that makes sense for where I'm at in my season with where my kids are, my ages, and what is one thing I can do to either help a routine for our kids, one thing I can do to help fill my cup better? Kind of just gives you that perspective to look at where, to figure out where am I at and what do I need to grow a little bit more? And to be able to do that with my kids and to actually enjoy being a mom. And that's what I feel like this is all about, is coming together to figure that all out together and really just try to find the enjoyment out of all of it.
And you touched on something really, really important. A lot of the time, we go looking for these big plans, these big solutions, but really it's very simple. You talked about that one thing. There was one thing that I did in my moment, my absolute worst moment. I One thing that I did, one small change, one small shift that I made that set me on this entirely new path that basically, I mean, I can't even begin to explain the transformation, and that's why I share it in my talk. But it does come down, a lot of the time, it comes down to just that one choice, that one decision, that one thing that we make in that critical moment that can change everything.
It's so true. I mean, we focus so much on all the big things, and again, it also comes down to scheduling because yes, we are busy,
Mhm.
we have busy lives, we want all these things for our kids, but don't forget about what you want for yourself. And it's not that you need to schedule hours and hours to go get a massage or to go do all these things. What we're talking about when we come to this is you're talking about 5 to 20 minutes, like somewhere between 5 to 20 minutes a day. Like we're not talking these huge things, but taking that amount of time for yourself, which is intentional, is going to make that shift that makes you more present and more calm and able to respond more to your kids rather than react to what's going on. Because they're going to throw their tantrums. They're going to do their thing, right? and there's going to be chaos around you. But it's what do you as a mom do with that around you? How do you respond to those things that happened? And that's what we do when we come together for these summits is, and you look at those ideas from the other moms and from the other people on the summit to get these tweaks to figure out like when you get just a little perspective change, we're like, what can I do just a little bit differently? When they're throwing their tantrum, when I think about it ahead of time, now I kind of have skills in my head. Like if my 6-year-old is going to throw a tantrum, I kind of know her patterns, right? Well, almost 7-year-old. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I will just put her in a room. She'll be in there for 45 minutes. I'll come in, check on her. Nope, not ready to talk. By the time that she's ready to talk, she's like, fine, I'll talk. And then like it's kind of like it becomes a little bit pattern. We keep working through it and we keep talking through it. But you have to like figure those things out and be that detective. And it's coming together to talk about these things proactively that allows us to be responsive in those times when we're stressed. And so that's what the summit's all about, is finding those proactive skills to help us so that we're not drowning. We're not feeling that complete overwhelm. We still will get overwhelmed, but it's how do I pull myself out quicker?
It always comes down to resiliency. And our own resiliency can come from those 5 to 20 minutes that we choose to invest in ourselves. And that when we invest them, we also have to make sure that they're judgment free. So that when we're spending that intentional time on ourselves, we're not what we call shooting all over ourselves with those things that we should be doing or we feel that we should be doing instead of investing that time in ourselves too. Because that's another big one that us women are really, really good at doing.
Comparison. Sarah's quote is, "You don't have to be the perfect mom to be the perfect mom for your kids."
Yes.
We don't have to have everything Pinterest ready, and like this is life. Something to touch on you have a birthday party coming up, which might change your schedule just a little bit. And if you know that you're going to give your child a whole bunch of sugar, you might expect them to be up later. And then the day after, it's probably not a good idea to plan to wake them up early because they're going to be cranky.
Yes, she will. Luckily, it's the older. She actually has her first swim meet that morning, and then her birthday party, and then luckily she doesn't have the next day, but the older one has a swim meet the next day. So it'll be a good day just for her to rest and like celebrate and like just be part of it. So yeah. But again, it's. I think a lot of times we feel like we need to show up as the Pinterest perfect mom, but especially like things like these summits and aspects of us learning more is like, show up as who you are, show up as where you're at and what you want to get from this. Not that you need to be this perfect person. Like you said, like Sarah's quote is, you're perfect for your kids, right? That's what we're looking for, is we're looking to be those detectives and figure out what does my kid need? And each kid is different too, as well. So it's like you have to do it for each of those kids. And that's what our job is as moms. It's not to stay like, oh, this person's doing this, I better do this for my kid. Well, it may or may not work for your kid. So it's not the stressor that it has to work. It's you can try it, but that's what these summits are all about. So just get new ideas to say, oh, I didn't think about maybe that would work for my kid, and use your gut just to know and start listening to what's going to work for you, not someone else. And really it's trying to like the whole part, I think, of going down this growth is to really tune into what your gut's telling you and to focus on that and to kind of take out all the other noise. But where do we get those ideas from? We get those ideas from places like these summits, and to get those ideas and to bring them into our families. And then they may or may not work, right? Be willing to be open-minded about it and give it a try. And if that one doesn't work, well, then you probably have the idea of like, you get these long lists of what are things I can do, right? And so you have this long list. Well, look at that list you take from the summit and then just highlight the first one that spoke to you, try it out. Doesn't work, go back to listen and try something new. It's just keep trying things till you figure out the ones that work for your family. For instance, my kids, we tried the checkoff list. They still to my day cannot check anything off. But we do have a list on the door just of all the things that they need to do in the morning. And then like if they forget, like just did you check that list? Like, but will they check anything off? No. I've completely given up.
But you talked about instinct, and one of the benefits of being a mom of, my kids are now adults, they're 21 and 24. You get to realize that a lot of the stuff that we may have dwelled on when our kids were little, some of the when we're trying to be perfect, when we're trying to create that right environment. When our kids are 20, some of those things that we got stuck on, they don't even remember. They don't even care. And
So
that's the thing, is like, really, you have to look at it and you have to decide, is this really worth it? I mean, my youngest, he has a very extreme form of dyslexia. And the teachers wanted me to practice reading with him every night, which is completely insane. And I finally said, like, no, I'm not going to do this to my child. It's not right for my child. I don't care what you say as educators. I'm doing what's right for us. And that completely transformed his entire experience, because somebody wasn't forcing him to be something that he wasn't meant to be. I went against everybody else's advice and I did what was best for my child. I trusted my intuition. And I think, above all, that's what we need to do as mothers.
I love that. Well, I hope that you guys will come join us for the Mom Empowered Summit. Again, it is 5 days long. So each day, new videos will be unlocked, and new come get some ideas. You'll have 24 hours per day to look at all the speakers for that day. And it'll just be a lot of fun for you to get some new ideas. And there's a Facebook group to jump into for your questions and things like that, for us to interact with each other. And let's do motherhood together. That's what this is about. Let's have some fun and enjoy it together. I thank you so much, Lucy. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining me today. And I can't wait to see everyone inside the Mompowered Summit, May 9th through the 13th. We'll see you guys all later.